And ever found yourself gazing through a window, pondering the mystery behind its transparent marvel? Ever wondered how glass is made? Well, let's shed some light on this topic. Imagine a beach holiday, not for the sun or the sea, but for the sand. Yes, you heard it right. The humble sand, which you often shake off your beach towel, is the superhero in our story of glassmaking. Intriguing, isn't it? Well, wonder no more, because today we're going to unravel the fascinating process of transforming sand into glass. Before we dive into the process, how about a quick detour to ancient times, the era of the glass's birth? Now imagine this, it's around 4,000 years ago and you're a Phoenician merchant cooking your dinner on a sandy beach. As the fire burns, a strange shiny liquid forms in the sand beneath the flames. You've just inadvertently discovered glass. Yes, the birth of glass was quite accidental, a byproduct of beachside barbecues. Fast forward to ancient Egypt and glassmaking has become a fine art. Egyptians were the first to produce colored glass, creating stunning pieces of jewelry that would make today's fashionistas green with envy. Then the Romans took the glass baton and ran with it. They were the first civilization to use glass for architectural purposes, introducing the concept of, wait for it, windows. Yes, before the Romans, people were quite literally living in the dark. Let's not forget the Venetians in the Middle Ages who moved the entire glass industry to the island of Murano, creating a hub of innovation and creativity. They developed clear glass, something we take for granted today, but back then it was a game changer. And now from the sands of time, let's journey to the sands of our beaches, the starting point of our glass-making process. Our recipe for glass begins with some very common ingredients. Can you guess what they are? No, it's not sugar, spice, and everything nice, but close enough. We're talking about silica sand, soda ash, and limestone. First up, we have silica sand, the star of our show. This is the main component of glass, giving it its transparent charm. It's like the flour in your cake recipe. Without it, you're just making scrambled eggs. Next we have soda ash. This is like the baking powder of our glass recipe. It lowers the melting point of the sand, making it easier to transform into glass. Think of it as the facilitator of a heated sand party. Finally, we have limestone. Limestone gives the glass stability, ensuring it doesn't dissolve in water or get damaged easily. It's the security guard of our glass recipe, making sure everything stays in order. Now that we have our ingredients ready, it's time to turn up the heat. Literally. Do you like cooking? Well, making glass is somewhat similar, but instead of a stove, we use a furnace, and instead of a pan, we use a melting pot. Now, let's imagine our furnace as a colossal kitchen and our melting pot as a gargantuan saucepan. We toss in our raw ingredients, sand, soda ash, and limestone, just like how you throw in your veggies and spices. But here's the twist. Our recipe calls for a little bit of heat, precisely 1,600 degrees Celsius. That's hotter than the surface of Venus. As the temperature soars, our raw materials begin to melt and merge. The sand provides the silica, the soda ash decreases the melting point, and the limestone ensures the finished glass will be stable. This scorching cauldron works its magic, transforming the disparate ingredients into a bubbling, molten symphony. This process is not a quick stir-fry, though. It takes hours of patient simmering for the mixture to become homogeneous, ensuring all components have completely dissolved and intermingled. It's a bit like making a perfect stew, where every ingredient has to surrender its identity to contribute to the greater whole. After hours of heating and mixing, our concoction is ready. The result is a glowing, fiery liquid, a red-hot river of potential, ready to be shaped and molded into any form we desire. And voila, we have our liquid glass, but we're not done yet. Our next step is the process of shaping. Now this is where the magic happens. It's time to give our molten material a makeover. All right, so we've got our hot molten material, but it's not yet the glass we know and love. It's like a caterpillar waiting to transform into a beautiful butterfly. So how do we shape it into something useful? Well, there are a few methods up our sleeves. The first is blowing. No, not like blowing up birthday candles, but more like blowing up a balloon. A skilled glass blower uses a long pipe to introduce air into the molten glass, shaping it into a bubble. It's like a fiery dance between the glass blower and the molten glass. Next up, we have pressing. This is where we play pretend and act like we're making cookies. The molten glass is poured into a mold and then pressed into the desired shape. Voila, you've got a glass cookie. Then there's the drawing method, where a machine literally draws the glass into thin sheets or fibers. It's like pulling taffy, but much hotter and definitely not edible. Lastly, we have rolling, where the molten glass is rolled out into flat sheets. It's like rolling out a pie crust, but instead of a delicious pie, you get a shiny piece of glass. And there you have it, from unassuming grains of sand to clear, shiny, and incredibly useful glass. But wait, we are not quite finished. Our glass needs a little pampering before it's ready for the world. You see, after all that melting and shaping, the glass is a bit like a stressed-out chap who's just run a marathon. It's hot, it's bothered, and it's full of tension. So what do? We give it a little spa treatment, a process called annealing. The glass is slowly cooled down like a gentle, soothing massage to ease out any stresses and strains. This cooling process must be done just right, as too fast might cause cracks and too slow might not remove all the tension. It's a delicate balance, just like a perfect cup of tea. And now the glass is ready to make its way into your homes, offices, and wherever else it's needed. So the next time you look through a window, remember the incredible journey it took to get there.